Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nilanda, and in today's video, I wanted to do something a little more like low-key and chill, but also potentially a little heartwarming. I'm definitely not someone who stays on track with their bullet journal all the time. Now last month I started pretty strong, but of course I skimmed a little bit on some spreads. But the one that I wanted to actually reflect on and kind of read through is my gratitude log. As you can see, I actually filled something out for every single day of September. Now, a lot happened in the month of September. It definitely felt very busy for me, but also I'm glad that I found a little bit of time every day, or at least remembered to write something that I was grateful for. I think this exercise not only is a way for me to reflect on the things that happened in September, but also what I'm grateful for, but also make sure I kind of keep that mentality going forward. So this is my daily gratitude log for September 2021. September 1st. I was grateful for Noy, Chris, and Nathan because their doors always open. So September 1st would have been the day before my nephew's birthday, so obviously I was at my sister's house after work that day. I just always show up at their house and they haven't changed their locks on me yet, so I mean, you know. September 2nd, the barbecue team. And I wrote solid food and fun always. So September 2nd, I hung out with my cousin crew that we call the barbecue team, and it's very much the crew that you put everyone together even though we haven't all seen each other and been with each other in literally like over a year and a half at this point, that everything just feels normal, you know. And it was one of those times that, you know, just it gets it right here, and I think I'm very lucky to be a part of a group with everyone. So for September 3rd, I wrote old friendships were kindling and feeling like nothing changed. From what I recall that happened in September, I want to say that an old friend and I reconnected after kind of having a fallout like years ago, and just talking to each other like normal as though nothing changed is probably what I was thankful for. We are, despite maybe not the prettiest breakup, we're back at it, baby. I think as I've gotten older, I've reflected on a lot of things that I've either done or the way I've felt, etc. And then, you know, you unpack a little bit and you realize why you acted certain ways, why you felt certain ways, and what was like good for you and what wasn't, or what was so unnecessary and what was. And I feel like this friendship was one of the moments in my life that had an asterisk on it, where it's like, this probably wasn't handled the best way and I would fix it if I could. September 4th, hanging out and seeing friends and family. So September 4th is when my sister threw that carnival birthday party, and there was just a ton of people there, lots of friends and family, you know, just seeing old faces, and that was really nice. It really is nice being grateful for the simple things in life. In September 5th, you know, I was with my baby again, and whatever my gratitude log was, my baby Nathan, witnessing him grow up and speak. And it's really true, just, you know, he has words to say now, and it's very endearing to hear him talk. And I think that sometimes I hear him say things and I'm just, you know, my heart melts, where I'm like, how did you learn all these words already? You know how to say colors, you know how to say these things, and, you know, sooner or later you're going to be like talking to me. And then September 6th, I wrote enjoying my own company. So I must have been home by that point, like back in Connecticut. I think I was just really happy to be home and by myself and just kind of like relax and, you know, wind down from all that socialization and stuff. And then September 7th, I wrote I was grateful for a quiet routine and being back to normal. So it was definitely the fact that I was kind of over the stimulation of being around a lot of people, being back at home, etc., where it's nice to just kind of go back to doing my own thing. And I'm grateful that I guess I could. And then for September 8th, I wrote tattoo ideas flowing. And at that point, I was thinking of a potential big tattoo piece that I might want to get one day. That kind of flow of ideas of creativity where I'm like, oh, this would be cool, that would be cool, what if I did this, or that would mean this. During that day, thinking about a potential tattoo and the design elements I'd want for it and why, etc. That was something I'm grateful for, the fact that I have that thought process still tucked away somewhere in my brain. On September 9th, I wrote that I was grateful for my sister's pasta. That means I showed up to her house and she probably saved me dinner that day. On September 10th, I wrote seeing my friends and feeling good/high energy. So I believe I went out for one of my college friends' birthdays that night, and also one of my high school friends' birthdays as well. And I think that night going into dinner and having drinks with everyone, I don't know, just made me very warm and happy inside, just kind of being around people that I really care about, that care about me, and just to hear about everyone's life. That feeling of, I don't know, you got me, I got you. You're my favorite people to be around. That's something I'm really grateful for. And then on September 11th, I wrote that I was grateful for the babies and family and outdoors and nature. So I believe I must have seen some of the babies in my family, whether it be my nephew when we went to the zoo that day, but also potentially a couple of the other little ones in the family as well. And let me tell you, I don't go out in nature enough, so honestly, I haven't been to the zoo in years until that time, so I was very grateful for that experience. And I think that that's something that's great that the children in the family are offering. It's just, taking them to places, but also I'm going to those places too. The 12th, I wrote football and crew, new family, and football dynamic. But yeah, so on the 12th, I went to my sister's house to watch the Patriots game that day, and I think it was just like having people there in a way that was different than the last time we did football Sundays at somebody's house, because there's children involved now, and it's like, all right, who's gonna watch the kids while these people watch the game and then kind of swap, and it's just coming into a new normal, I guess, with all these additions of little humans. And then for the 13th, I wrote having a very lax work from home situation, comfort in my own space, and then I wrote BTS. I'm very grateful for the fact that I can work from home, but also my situation is very pretty chill, pretty lax, and I want to say RM from BTS went live that day because it was his birthday, so that's probably why I'm grateful for that. Like I probably woke up to it and was like pumped. And then September 14th, I wrote getting inspired to DIY. And so that was when I got the idea to make my corset. And I think it was very much like put the blinders on and then just go for it, and kind of getting that inspiration to just get it all done immediately. I haven't had that in a while. And then for the 15th, I wrote cooking new things at home. I believe I started cooking some branzino or tilapia that night or something. That was exciting for me because it turned out it was very good. It was like a nice lemon parsley something or other, and it was really good. And then the 16th, I wrote getting back into hobbies. So that could have been about like the sewing and DIY stuff. I also started watching a lot of anime again, so it could have been that. I love my hobbies, man. And then the 17th, I wrote completing personal and creative projects to be proud of. So I must have finished the corset on that day. And honestly, I am really proud of it, so yeah. And then the 18th, I wrote BTS having a safe flight and coming to the US. Like the fact that BTS came to the US, yeah, I'm grateful for that. I think I'm grateful for the community of ARMY that's always just like, they're gonna have a safe flight back, we care about them enough that we're all gonna like trend on Twitter and whatnot, but yeah, all of that. I'm definitely grateful for that. And then for the 19th, I wrote a solo day in New York City in my own company and enjoying it. And so that was actually from the vlog I posted last week. But that was a really nice day that I had by myself, so I think just overall that's something I've learned as I've gotten older to like enjoy my own company, where I was like, yeah, I don't want to hang out with people right now, where it's like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with doing something I want to do by myself if no one else wants to do it with me. That's okay. And then the 20th, again, BTS. I wrote BTS speaking and performing at the UNGA. I'm so proud. I think just the milestones and the borders and boundaries they've crossed as Korean artists or, non-Western artists, non-English speaking artists is insane. And I mean it in the sense of within the music industry, but also beyond that as well for their own country. The 21st, I wrote friends reaching out to hang out. So I believe this day someone probably that I hadn't heard from in a while probably just hit me up to say like, what are you up to type of thing, and try to make plans with me. So I think that's nice, especially when you lose touch with people because you've either moved away or, you've been social distancing and whatnot. So it's nice to hear from people and just to know that like, oh, hey, I was thinking about you. I miss you. What are you up to? So that's nice. And 22 was making meals I really like. I do enjoy cooking at home. I think sometimes I'm more lazy than others, but sometimes when I'm not and I meal prep and something is delicious, I'm just like in awe of my own ability, and I think that was one of those days. For the 23rd, I wrote taking steps forward in the life I want, which is really ambiguous. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do that was a bit of a step forward in the life that I want? It could be nothing, it could be everything, it could be really simple, or it could be really complicated. I'm honestly not sure. But here's to hoping that whatever step that was leads to a result that I like. And then the 24th, I wrote being productive and ahead of schedule. So it must have been for like videos and stuff maybe, like It's nice to have videos on deck that are already edited or already shot. It must be that because I think I filmed some things kind of back to back, like in 1 week versus like once every week or something, so that makes sense. And then the 25th, I wrote Semi-Spontaneous Adventure in New York City, Global Citizen Live. So that's when I went to New York with my cousin Tina for Global Citizen Live, and we spent a couple days in New York then, and that was really nice. So for the 26th, I wrote Meeting New People. So that was when I was in New York, and I met some of my cousin's college roommates, and they were really cool, so that was nice. And also, I happened to be in the same area as a friend I met online, so meeting her and her husband just kind of on a whim, like we both just ran into each other at Washington Square Park, so that was really cool, and that was really nice to kind of meet someone I was like talking to online for a while, just like in person, so that was really nice. I was very grateful for that. And then the 27th, I wrote Dim Sum and BTS in the US for concerts. So when I was in New York, I decided with my cousin to end our work day, but also end our time in New York by having dim sum for lunch. And that was a great idea because it was very good. It was very good. And then when we got home, that's when BTS announced that they were going to perform in California. So I was very grateful for that. And since that day, the past 2 weeks have been a complete whirlwind of trying to figure out what I'm doing for it, right? So for the 28th, I wrote friends who understand me and are willing to help me out. So because BTS announced their tour, I had to get everyone on board to register in order to potentially take part in the pre-sale. So I got maybe like 15 to 18 people, I think, at the end of it to register for me to potentially help me out when push came to shove. Unfortunately, it didn't really turn out, but the fact that they even tried is like, I'm grateful that I had people who were willing to do that for me. The 29th, I wrote reaching out to new people to make friends. And again, this is also goes back to BTS, honestly, because I reached out to a lot of people on like Twitter and Reddit, etc., just to kind of be a little more active in the community and talk about things that I was concerned about, but also I made some more friends, and there are some people who I definitely want to meet up with when I go to California to the concert with them, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that. And then September 30th, I wrote my family asking and telling me about dinner when I come home. I mean, I think it's just because my mom would do things like that. When she knows I'm coming home, she'll just text me and be like, hey, this is what's in the fridge, or like when you come home we can have this or this, what do you want, you know? I'm really grateful for that. My parents do, my family does for me, so yeah. And so that is everything I was grateful for in September. The 3 main things I was grateful for were my friends and family, whether it be seeing the babies or just spending time with people, the fact that, you know, people are willing to go out of their way for me, or you know, fostering new friendships, or, you know, getting back involved in old ones, stuff like that. BTS, because the amount of happiness they provide me, as well as the the community that I get to be a part of because of them, just the personal ways that they have made my life better, etc. I could go on forever about that. And then I guess I was just grateful also for me, like whether it's spending time alone in New York City, or trying new recipes, or just literally being alone and not having anyone like talk to me for a week. The fact that I do like myself, and that my bar of needing social attention is not as high as it used to be. Like, I'm okay with being bored by myself sometimes. If anything, I like request it, I want it, I need it, you know? I need that to like balance out the rest of my life sometimes. I don't think I'm someone who's going to be able to maintain a full bullet journal with every single spread, every single week filled out, but sometimes when I can do it, like I did this month, it is really nice to go back and reflect. So I really hope that I keep that mentality going forward, that there's so much for me to be grateful for, even if it is just the simple things. It's my life to live, and I like seeing the good parts of it and appreciating those more and putting more value on those things. So, yeah. Well, that's all for me this week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!